How's folks, Linda J here for Flochi Health and Wellness. Do you perhaps know somebody who's got curled toes, maybe squiggly toes, perhaps even bunions on the feet, toes that point inward, maybe even sitting up on the padding of the foot, maybe some ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, even the back, shoulders. These can all be symptoms that point to a weak posterior chain. So today I want to do some exercises that are going to help you or your friend strengthen up this chain so that you can live a life which is more comfortable. Okay, first up guys, I just want to draw your attention to something. If you can just kind of stand shoulder width apart and start to feel into your feet. Where is the pressure on your feet landing, okay? Maybe you'll start to realize when I explain this part, your foot actually has a tripod, okay? The main pressure points on your foot where your balance sits is on the point of your toe, somewhere around the point of your toe. Then also this little side thing here, you can feel it's probably quite hard here. Also this kind of ball of your foot here. That's like your tripod on your foot. Obviously a lot of pressure also goes into your heel, but on a good healthy foot there will be an even balance between those 3 points, right? And this is where you start to see like curled toes, bunions, and squiggly toes. You'll see there'll be protrusions and things on the foot here, and that all is a result of poor balance. So if you just feel into your feet, where is that pressure sitting? And you should be able to tell from that, oh, maybe I'm putting too much balance on the ball of my foot or on the outside of my foot, right? So just being cognizant of one's balance and where the pressure sits. In Tai Chi, we have the Wuji posture, where it's all about centering that balance. So how do we equalize that balance? We're basically going to, first of all, as I say, we're consciously looking at where that balance is sitting on the foot. Then you're going to raise the foot. Okay, so we're going to raise your foot, right? So after you raise that foot, you're going to feel, okay, where's the balance sitting on that foot? So you can use your hands just to see if you can get that perfect balance. You're going to feel between, remember those 3 points on your foot, those 3 main points, and also your heel. It's got to all be quite central between those points, a good center of gravity. And then what you're going to do is once you've kind of mastered feeling in the center of your body, then you can start doing it with a bit of movement. Always dynamic, right? We're mimicking what we do when we walk, when we do our sports, our workouts. So we want to try and even out, correct that balance. So always trying to remember, it's behavioral training as well. We're trying to remember, okay, what does that feel like? What does that perfect balance feel like? So then we move through it. Maybe we can get a bit more dynamic, and we can also move the foot around. Also not forgetting that your hands also play a big role in your balance. So that helps you keep yourself on that center that you want, okay? Maybe you can time yourself for like 2 minutes playing around with that. Always good to be playful, but the basic movement is balance, still balance, and then you can do like a running movement like such. Right, so the next one we can do is, I like to call this one a Superman run. So you basically are pumping your knee up and making that kind of Superman pose at the top, and then you're coming down, bending the knee and lunging back up again. Alright, so you might feel like your leg shakes a bit sometimes when you first start doing this. Remember, it's not about doing it perfect at the beginning. Do try to pay attention to your technique, but at first you want to just get used to the movement. You are evening out the balance, you're teaching your body new neural pathways, and that's how it's done. If you want to get a bit more advanced, what you can do is you can add an extra pump in your ankle onto that. Remember also being cognizant of where that balance is sitting. We've engaged all kinds of muscles up through the whole group here: hip, knee, ankle, and then obviously paying attention to the tripod on your foot. This one's really great. Sometimes what happens is people injure the inside of their ankle or even the outside. This is the more common one, when you sprain your ankle, tear ligaments on the outside. But when you tear it on the inside, this exercise is essential. Although you can actually go crippled if you don't do your physiotherapy exercises that the physio gives you. So do pay attention, always run the full course. When it's with medicine, when it's with exercise regime, make sure you do your exercises, guys. Okay, cool. Next one, we're just using a step. You can use the stairs, maybe even that raised step as you come in the house. You just need some space for you to actually just let your feet drop down. And you might be wondering why there's a fan here. You kind of just need to hold onto something while you do this. What we're doing is we're basically just pointing our feet inward like that. So remember, you kind of want a slightly inward thing. Why we're doing inward is so that this can activate all of these outside muscles, your ITB, and then that's going to go up through your back and your shoulders and stretch the whole fascial chain down while you're doing that, right? But it's also an exercise. Remember, always dynamic is the best way to go. So it's just a basic ankle raise. You're going to let your feet hang down off the step, and then you raise. And you can do reps of about 15 of these. Right, so you can do quite a few reps of those, and then you'll start to strengthen up all of those ankle ligaments, and that'll also, with the stretching and the dynamic movement, will affect your posterior chain. What you'll find, somebody who's got an issue with their posterior chain, is they might have one leg that's actually longer than the other one, and you can actually see the hip might be tilted. It's actually quite a common issue I find with a lot of my patient people. So there's a few ways you can do that. If you put your legs up against the wall, you can see, kind of do a 90-degree pipe with your body, and then you can see if one foot is lower than the other one. You can get a friend to kind of analyze and see if you have that imbalance in your hip. Anyway, but the exercise to counteract that is, so if you can identify the side that is lower, so your hip side that has less height on it, you can do more reps on that side. So basically, your leg is straight, so this leg is kind of straight, and then you let this hip hang over. So there's a little stretch you'll feel in your hip here, and then you're gonna just isolate into your hip, and you're gonna pull the hip up. So you're pulling your hip up, and tilting down again. Pulling up and tilting down, up and down. So you can do that on the leg that's the shorter side. You maybe do 10 reps on that side, and then on the other side, the longer leg, you can maybe do 5 reps. So same thing. You're just kind of tilting that hip up. Alright, so hopefully you guys have warmed up before you've even started this video. So it's a good time to actually start doing some stretches. Pigeon pose is a really good one. So this, you might know this one from yoga, the pigeon pose, crossing your leg over like this. Really good for sciatic nerve. It also stretches that posterior chain. Lean back into it and lean forward into it. Lean back into it. Lean forward into it. Not forgetting to breathe. And then you can also, at this stage at the bottom, you can play around a bit, but just make sure that your muscle doesn't fire into pulling your muscle or spasming. Okay. So that's a really good one to do. To stretch, we're trying to stretch this whole side band, right, of your posterior chain so that you can balance. It's all about balance. So we want to make sure that our stabilizer muscles are really strong when we're doing this. Okay, next one, also really good. So we really want to stretch that posterior chain. So what we want to do is we want to also lunge, so we're building strength. So you lunge. This one's taken from, I borrowed this from capoeira. So you do like a jinga. So in capoeira you do a jinga like this. Alright, so that's your jinga. Alright. Now what we're doing is we're doing a therapeutic movement. We're stepping back and we're reaching over with our arm. You can come back again. Maybe you can just stay on one side. Do like 5 of these. Okay, and then you can change it over to the other side, reach over. Alright. And if you want to go with the rhythm, maybe you've got some music on, then you can do your jinga and reach over. Just remember to keep it dynamic. So maybe, you know, if you change the angle up, maybe you want to reach forward like that. And that's stretching on the point maybe where you're feeling pain. These exercises can really help you reduce the pain that you're feeling while also lubricating up your bodily system. See, the bodily system, it runs, so we've got fascia, we've got muscles, we've got tendons, and we've got nerves. You know, we built machines based on our bodies. Even a robot, like a robot would have very much the same kind of sinews and kind of ligament type structures in their bodies, right? But like in a car or any kind of mechanical device, you need lubrication. How do we lubricate? How do we hydrate our bodies so that we can move things? We have to make sure that our fascia, our muscles, our ligaments, our tendons are all gliding over each other. Whether you have an injury or whether you're just doing maintenance work, it's the same thing. Movement is king. We got to keep moving, guys. That's what we're looking for. So that's exactly what we're doing here. We're stretching our chain, we're lengthening all the way down. So you're lengthening all the way up from the foot, up into the arm, and you stretching. So, and you can stretch that, you can even stretch back. Maybe you want to do more of the front side of that chain. You can reach over backwards. So being dynamic with your movement. And then lastly, we're going to do the same movement, but now we're going to do with our fists together. And what we're going to do is you're going to step back, and now you're going to stretch over like this. So maybe you step first, get your balance, and then you stretch. You can even look up at your elbow to deepen the stretch. So stabilize into your lunge. You can even drop down a bit deeper into the lunge if you like. You're looking for a bit more of an exercise, and that's also going to impact more on your balance. Remember, always be paying attention to the tripod. Foundation is key. And we're stretching over. We're stretching over. Right, so now basically what we've done, we've stretched our posterior chain, we've exercised it with strength, we've started the gliding movement to go over, and that can impact all the way up our body, our back, our outside of our legs. Obviously, that's all focusing back down to the feet. I also do massage therapy and acupressure, fascial release. So if you are struggling with any of these issues related to the posterior chain and your feet, remember the feet, squiggly toes, big knob on the outside of your toe, strangely oriented toes. I can help you release that, stretch your posterior fascial chain, and bring you back into harmony. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Next time, come flow with me and rise with chi.
Flow state of mind.